everyone, thank you for tuning in to AGrader's Here's What to Expect. Today we have with us an experienced English curriculum writer named Sharon, who will share with us what a secondary 2 student will be learning for English in July. So Sharon, what are they learning this month?
Okay, for this month, because it's nearing the end of year, we will actually be talking about the oral component of the English paper.
What are the challenges for oral component?
Okay, for the oral component, actually a significant number of schools may not have introduced this particular section yet, but it's important because this section requires students to discuss issues in social context, which is actually the biggest challenge for them. So just like how they were tested for PSLE oral, there will be a reading aloud segment and a spoken interaction segment, and this is where the students struggle with because the spoken interaction segment actually requires students to engage in a discussion with the examiner revolving around the same theme as the reading segment, and such themes are actually more of social context, which requires students to have knowledge of the social affairs.
Okay, so do you have any examples to show us?
Okay, so let's take a look at this example right now. So students who have actually been taught how to do spoken interaction will probably be introduced to this idea that there will actually be 3 questions that will be asked to us, and the 3 questions will be asked at different levels. So for example, this question, at the individual level, a question would be, how do you think the lady is feeling? So for this, the individual level question is usually directly related to what the student is seeing in the picture. So they can start with a general description of what they see in the picture. For example, there's an old lady, where is she? She's situated in a fast food restaurant, etc. Before specifically going into how they think she is actually feeling. So they can say something like, based on the smile on her face, I guess that she must be feeling happy. And after which, they can actually go on to give a short personal experience they have with an elderly person who is working in such a context. Question 2 that can be asked from this particular picture would be, what impression of elderly workers do you think our society has? So for a question like that, this is asked more at the community societal level, where it is a move away from the picture but still related to the theme. So students are not constrained to what they see in the visual stimulus anymore. Instead, they can actually talk about their personal experiences, what they think are positive or negative impression of the elderly workers in our society, and their own personal experience or personal opinion of elderly workers in our society. As for the last question, do you think that companies should employ elderly workers? For this question, I always tell my students that this is basically just your expository essay, but you're talking about it instead of writing about it. So same thing, we can actually apply the PIL structure over here. So if you recall, PIL structure is actually a structure that a technique that we use to get our students to organize their content information in the expository essays. So let me give you an example of how we can actually use the PIL structure to answer this question. So the point would be, age should not be the determining factor in whether to hire someone. Instead, it should be the person's ability to do his or her job. The elderly have a wealth of experience and hence have much to contribute, and this would form the elaboration of that. So students can have many points to answer this question, but they should go on to elaborate and give evidence. So, and therefore ending it with a linking statement, therefore the elderly's experience is invaluable and makes them great assets to their company. So it doesn't, the PIL structure is not just for expository written essays, it can actually be applied in the spoken interaction component as well.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To watch more of such videos and information to help your child improve and learn ahead of others in school,
visit our website www.agrader.sg, click on this button, fill in your email address, and receive all these useful videos straight in your inbox for free.
as well as the latest in promotions, so that you don't lose out on great deals with AGrader Learning Center.